to So You Think You Can Write, where we give serious writing critique without taking ourselves too seriously. My name is Randy Lindsay, and with me here today is
Torsha Baker,
Janette Rallison,
Brock Booher.
All right, the way the show works is Brock is going to read a first page submission, and the rest of us, if we feel that an agent or editor would stop reading, we will hit our buzzers. All right.
Okay, here we go. James paused to look at the map one more time, refocusing on the strange markings. Trying to decipher the faded map was difficult at best. He sat down on a large rock to rest and wiped the sweat off his face. His assistant Sophie stood a few feet away, taking a drink from her canteen. The rock beneath him suddenly felt unsteady and shifted his weight. "James, did you feel that?" Sophie asked. "Yeah, I didn't think they had many tremors or earthquakes in this area, though." They waited for some time, but neither of them felt any other movement beneath their feet. He pulled out his compass. The markings on the map said they needed to go west. They did, and still no pathway, no sound of running water. Were they lost? Sophie wandered over to a cluster of large stones shaded with long vines and other vegetation. She leaned back, casually resting her shoulder on a protruding stone. A second later, she reached up and grabbed her shoulder as a scream escaped her lips. James ran toward her, but before he reached her, she disappeared, vanished. "No, Sophie!" He couldn't believe his eyes. "Sophie!" he yelled as panic crept in. He frantically searched to find a sharp object that might have caused her to scream in pain. Nothing. As he ran back to retrieve their packs, he replayed what had just happened in his mind. Sophie walked over to rest and get out of the sun. Then she leaned against the rocks. That wasn't anything out of the ordinary. He hoisted the packs up in one smooth motion and sprinted back to where she'd stood. There has to be a passageway or opening here. She can't be gone. He paced back and forth until the foliage under his foot was matted down. He stopped. "Pull yourself together, man." He decided to look at the map one more time. The map. Sophie was looking at the map when she disappeared. What now?
I came so close to buzzing it.
I did too.
Because it's technically good, but we're just missing like some deep point of view and a goal. Because at first,
That's what I was.
I was thinking like, okay, this is just some people out hiking. What are they doing? And then we get screaming and disappearing, which is exciting. However,
Which often happens when I go hiking.
so I mean, yeah, that is, but I feel like this at the same time that this is right now just like good, but it could be better with some added things like okay, James paused to look at the map one more time, refocusing on the strange markings. Like that's a good first line, but this isn't a normal world, obviously. I began to wonder if it was a video game or something. And so I feel like we're in a world where people disappear and this is life and death, then maybe we could have even a stronger first line, like he knows this is life and death. Or he doesn't know this is life and death, and then if that's the case, he should be a lot more freaked out when somebody disappears, because, that doesn't happen usually.
The second sentence is redundant. Trying to decipher the faded map was difficult. Well, you just said he was trying to struggle with it, so you almost don't need the second sentence. But anyway.
Yeah, so this is kind of some low stakes sentences for a really super high stakes thing. But yeah, I think deep point of view, and I didn't look at this before, but we also have some problems with the
Punctuation.
Which would probably get rejected by an agent or an editor, because they're gonna want it grammatically.
Yeah, the rock beneath him suddenly felt unsteady and shifted his weight. There should be a break there. "James, did you feel that?" Sophie asked. "Break." "Yay." Yeah, I didn't. So there, instead of all in one paragraph.
So yeah, Google that.
Yeah, and I really didn't, adding on to what Janette was saying, but I don't feel his voice at all. Like I didn't really get, I feel like I want more internal thought from him. That how does he feel about the situation that he's in, whatever situation he's in, which we really don't know a whole lot about. Like Janette was saying, is this a life and death situation, or are they just out for a stroll? And I don't have any sense of what's around them other than a rock under their foot, and her leaning against a tree. But I guess what I'm saying is, are they in the Sahara Desert, or are they in a jungle? I mean, did I miss something? Was it on there somewhere?
Yeah, long vines, other vegetation, so probably not the Sahara.
So,
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
See, I must have missed that when I was. So
Yeah.
sorry. Okay.
But
never
they
mind.
could
Just
be out for like a weekend hike, or this could be
Yeah.
like life or death, trying to make it across.
And I kind of got jarred with this whole Sophie. No, I mean, she disappeared, and maybe it's because I really don't care because I don't know these characters yet. So I'm just kind of like, you know.
Sophie, assistants are easy to come by.
Yeah.
Sidekick.
Now you don't have to pay her.
Well, I did want to know.
Don't
that.
work for Torsha.
Yeah.
The assistant's gone.
But you know what I mean? It's like it's the whole thing about, you know, throwing a chase scene in the beginning of a book. We don't want to do that, right? Because we have no investment in these characters yet. I don't feel invested in Sophie yet to care whether or not she disappeared. So I want to know more about these people before you throw something like that in there.
And that is
personally.
not to say that give us paragraphs of backstory about
No,
them,
no.
Right.
why they're there. You needed to put it in their point of view, and they are thinking the thoughts that they would be thinking at that moment. So
Yeah.
so a goal here would really, like, what is their goal? Why are they out here? And Sophie, when you say his assistant, Sophie stood a few feet away taking a drink from her canteen. Okay, this would be a good place to maybe put in a little bit of description about her. Is she
Yeah.
a hot 24-year-old? And
How does he feel about
and
her?
he's got a secret crush, or is this the person his mom made him hire and he can't wait to ditch her? Or, I mean, yeah, there's
Well, wait, if his mom
Then it would
made,
be
if she's still a hot
Sophie
24-year-old,
vanished. Yay.
I don't know.
I mean, it could be anything, right?
Randy's been quiet down there. Randy, what do you think?
Yeah, you have thoughts.
Oh, I do.
I can feel them coming off of you.
I regret that I didn't buzz it. Now, here's my reason. So, Sophie disappears. No, Sophie, no. No, that person's going to go charging, unless he doesn't really like her. Maybe he is happy that she's gone and doesn't have to pay her anymore.
Sophie.
Because otherwise, you're going to like charge into whatever terrain is around there looking for her. You're not going to go, oh, well, let me go back here and let me look for sharp objects that might have caused her to scream, or no, she's
Yeah.
missing. You don't care about anything other than finding that person. And for me, I lose it right there, because that's not a very realistic sequence. Someone disappears, you go looking for them. And once you have exhausted all possibilities of finding that person, then you come back and you look at the map and you look for sharp things that might have made her scream out. You don't do all of that after like 2 seconds. Oh, she's gone. No. Let me look around here for
Yeah,
some
that's
clues.
not
No,
natural.
you're looking for her.
Unless this is a world where that happens a lot, which
No.
made me wonder, like, what kind
Yeah.
of, again, which is
Sophie,
when
no.
I thought maybe this
people
is a
just
video
disappear
game.
randomly.
Because if you're in
She
a
ran
video
out of
game-
life.
Yeah,
She ran out of
she'll be
life.
back at the next, you know what I mean? But yeah, and I think that's a point of view problem. And one thing that you could do to help your point of view is to put this in, just as an exercise, put it in first point of view, and what would he really be thinking? Because, okay, no Sophie, he couldn't believe his eyes. Would he be thinking, I can't believe my eyes? Or like, what would he be thinking? Like,
Or would he
not
say,
now.
what
People
the
don't
heck?
just disappear.
Like, yeah, people don't just disappear. What
What's in
happened?
this canteen?
And here's a great
Am I going
opportunity
crazy?
for world development here,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
So, what are the possible things that could have happened to her? Does he know nothing about this area, or does he know maybe there's jaguars, or if this is an alien planet, maybe tunneling worms, or anything that he might think could have happened to her, or she just got tired of working for him because he pays her poorly, and then she just ran off.
Maybe she can transport.
Yeah,
No, we don't know what the rules are in this world.
Yeah, I just felt like it was written melodramatically. Is that a word? I mean, it just felt melodramatic, like I was waiting for the villain with the black hat and the mustache, and aha, It felt very melodramatic in its pacing and in its style. So
It felt, I don't know if this is written for young adult or middle grade, but it felt middle grade to me because it felt immature
Yeah.
a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And again,
So if it is young adult and I'm saying it didn't feel mature enough, then, try
that's
to make
okay,
some changes.
because you're writing middle grade. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well-
if he's writing older, yeah. But if you're writing middle grade, then, I guess that's okay.
yeah, but I think, the melodramatic and the age thing, I think that could all be addressed with point of view. So go Google deep point of view and start practicing that, and then because this is a really interesting high stakes start, but you just need it to really come alive with the characterization.
And you can
Well, what
set-
are the stakes?
Well, and you can
People
set up that
disappear.
disappearance.
Well,
too.
yeah, I meant from the beginning.
from
The
the-
first
yeah.
paragraph, we don't know why they're there. We don't know what's at stake if they don't accomplish whatever's that they want to
Disappear.
accomplish.
That's what happens.
We don't have anything until she disappears, which feels too abrupt to me anyway. So, right?
Right,
Yes, maybe.
absolutely.
You want to start the voting for us, Randy?
All right, I'm gonna give it a right. I don't feel that I know anything significant about the characters or the environment. There are vines and there's trees, but I don't know if this is science fiction, horror, fantasy, contemporary. So there's just way too much that I don't know that would be easily enough to be able to slip that in on the first page and give us a better idea of what the story's about.
I agree. I'm going to go with right as well for all those reasons, and the other reason we talked about as well. Also, I mean, we make sure you put in his age. Like we need to kind of have an idea of these people, and we don't have enough.
Right, and again, with voice, a young person's voice is different from a British archaeologist, right? So you'll be able to tell us some of those things once.
Or a clown.
Or a clown. Once you do that.
Pull
that
yourself
baby
together,
clown
man.
point of
See,
view,
there it is.
internal
See, pull
thought.
yourself together, man.
Okay, so he's a man.
Well, anyway, I'm just.
Well, I guess if he has an
Wait,
assistant,
did he
he's
say
a
that?
man. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I think
Oh,
this
I
is
missed
probably
that.
going to be the only one that I'm saying right to that I didn't buzz because.
Too late.
Because it wasn't that there was anything specifically wrong. It was just that we need to add more right stuff to it to make it better. So yeah, I'm also going to give it a right just because I think it needs that deep point of view and goal and characterization.
I'm going to also give it a right, but just for the record, I would have buzzed it in the first paragraph for formatting because that would have thrown most editors out right there. Again, for all the same reasons, there's a lot of potential here. There's obviously a scene. There's some really good things here. I first of all don't care about the characters, and it just comes across melodramatic. So I'm going to also give it a right.
But I still want to know what happens to Sophie, and I'll never know. And
He doesn't have to pay her.
that's the bad thing about
No,
this.
you will know because you're going to fix all these things, and it's
And
going to
it's
be
gonna be
great. And it's going
awesome.
to get published, and we're going to read it.
That's right.
And I'm glad that Sophie disappeared. That was exciting. That was fun.
That's true. That's true.
Well,
I mean, Sophie didn't die, but disappearing is close enough, right?
I can pretend for a while that she's dead.
There you go.
So
Okay.
that makes me
Come back,
temporarily
she's a hot
happy.
24-year-old. She'll be back.
pull yourself together, man. Anyway, well, the comment below, tell us if we got it right or if we're way off base here and disappearing Sophie gets paid or not. But anyway.
One of us should disappear at this moment. Someone with camera magic, please make that happen.
All right, and that's it for this episode. Until next time, get ready.
Get set.
Right.